Today we will be working on corkscrewing in and out both directions at the walk, trot, and the lope. We will start by walking this exercise. You may want to use a cone or a barrel or something to walk around like I am here, but you do not have to. You will start with your horse arched in the direction of your turn. Start fairly close to the object or to the center of your circle. With your horse arched the entire time, you will want to walk around the object or your circle and gently, without changing the arc, move your horse away from the center of the circle. Once you've moved your horse away one stride, walk about a circle to a half a circle, and then move it another stride, walk another half circle to a full circle, and then another stride, walk a circle to a half circle. Each of these you should remain arced. And once you're on the widest circle, then I want you to start back in. Again, remaining arched in the direction of the circle, as you can see here. Even if your horse is a little bit fresh or resistant, that's okay. I'm really just looking for the arc and the movement away from and to the center of the circle, barrel, cone, whatever you're using. The object of this exercise is to have you be able to, while maintaining an arc in the circle, to move away from or closer to the center of the circle without a lot of huge movements or changing the arc or direction of the horse. Once you have completed this exercise at a walk, you will want to transition to the trot. As you can see here, I have moved to the other direction, but basically the exercise is the same. You'll want to use your inside rein to maintain direction, but use your outside rein to move either to or from the center of your circle. Also, you want to make sure that you use your body and your legs to move the horse to and away from the center of your circle. The entire time, I want you to make sure you maintain an arc in the horse's body. As you can see here, my horse is a little bit hot. She's a little excited because her buddies are moving away. That's okay. She also maintains that arc, and we can move away from the barrel as she's doing here. And then we can move back in closer to the barrel, which is the center of my circle. I want you to be able to do this without a lot of hand movement, more using your body as a cue than your hands making drastic movements. Just as we did in the walk, you will want to move your horse out, if you're starting in the center, out one stride, and then trot 1/2 to 1 full circle. Then move out another stride, trot a half to a full circle until you've reached the perimeter of the farthest you're going to move, at which point you'll want to move back in a stride and trot a half to a full circle, move in another stride, trot a half to a full circle before transitioning to the lope. As you transition, you can either begin from your trot, pick it up to a lope. You can do that with each gait, or you can stop and then start fresh. If you stop and then start fresh when you're moving to a lope, unlike the walk and the trot, I think it is easier to start this on your widest portion of your circle or on the outside perimeter of your circle and then move in. Again, you can see my horse is fighting me a little bit here, but she is maintaining her arc. I'm able to move closer and closer to the barrel without a lot of movement with my hands. And she's listening to my legs and my body quite well as she shortens up her circle. You'll realize that once you get to the lope, it's a little more difficult to shorten up your circle, and I don't expect that center to be quite as small when you're at the lope as when you're at the walk and the trot. As she continues to move here, she is making her circle wider and wider, doing lots better here as her friends have went away, and she's more attentive and listening to me. I'm not necessarily looking at how perfect your horse is, but more how your horse is listening to your cues, and more specifically the cues that you are giving your horse. As you finish this sequence, make sure that you finish at the perimeter of the circle, the outer edge, and once the horse is done, go ahead and make a nice stop. Make sure that they're paying attention the entire way before you make that stop, and finish the sequence. This last clip that I have here is me doing this exercise without a barrel or an object in the center of the circle. As you can see, it is a little more difficult for me to maintain an even circle without an object in the center, but nonetheless still possible. As you do this exercise, I want you to make sure that you keep the arc in your horse's body, going the direction of the circle, regardless of if you are moving away from the center or towards the center. It's super important that you use as little as you can on your hands and use as much as you can on your legs, seat, and other cues. Make sure that you do this exercise both directions at all 3 gaits, the walk, the trot, and the lope. And make sure that when you finish this at each gait, your horse is listening to you each direction. As you can see, I make plenty of mistakes, both me and my horse do, while doing this exercise. It is not my purpose to have this be perfect. However, it is my purpose to have you be able to move your horse either closer to or further away from the circle while maintaining the direction arc of the circle that you're in, and to use softer and less hands and more of your other aids, such as your voice, your seat, and your feet. So make sure as you go through this exercise that you try to do it as soft as you can, getting your horse to pay attention to you the best way that you can. Also, make sure that before you stop the exercise, your horse is listening. You stop with a good stop. I prefer that you possibly back up after you stop. That's one thing I like to do. And most of all, just be soft and supple.